Hi guys, welcome back to the course. So today we're going to discuss through a different campaign type, so Google Ads discovery campaigns. We'll do a quick overview of what exactly discovery campaigns are, and then we'll dive into the interface here just to show you how to go ahead and set those up. So discovery campaigns are just another campaign format that Google has that helps you reach your customers. It is across Google's feeds and basically allows you to kind of, reach your customers at more scale with just one campaign, because it shows across different places across Google. So you've got the YouTube Home, the Watch Next feeds, Google Discover, and the Gmail promotions and social tabs. So the whole point is for Google to kind of use its machine learning to reach your ideal customer at scale. So you'll enter your normal kind of information that you would within an ad, so the likes of your headlines, images and logos, etc. And then Google will kind of decide how they'll show your ads and which customers are kind of going to be highly interested in those ads, based on the goals that you've set for the campaign type and the bidding strategy, etc. that you've assigned. So the whole point is to just drive more engagement. They are a much more visual kind of format, so they're built in order to kind of run natively across Google's properties. So the design for discovery is customers kind of browse their favorite content and feeds. So the way that the layouts work is they rely on machine learning to build and showcase your assets seamlessly, I guess, across different devices and help engage with your customer based on the interest and actions that they have. So you can use, as you would expect, the automated bidding options so that it meets the goals that you want to achieve. You've got the likes of maximise conversions, target CPA, target ROAS, etc. And then Google will work to make sure that that's how the campaign runs in order to meet your goals. So it's probably a good idea to test discovery campaigns if you want to drive conversions from different kind of points across Google, and hopefully at scale through one kind of marketing objective. So you can either, work towards driving leads. So it might be, in my case, I might want somebody to fill in a form, or you can work towards driving more traffic to your site, or you can work towards driving sales. It isn't designed for like a brand engagement type of campaign, so I'll show you that when we set it up. It won't actually show up on the option if it was to be more around brand awareness. So I would definitely recommend discovery as an option to include as an additional campaign type to run across your Google Ads activity alongside your search campaigns, your shopping campaigns, etc., whatever you've got running. So we'll jump in and have a look at what they look like, and we'll see how the setup process works. So in the interface, you can just click on the new campaign option as normal, and then you can choose what your goal is. So like I said, if you were to click brand awareness, you'll not see the discovery campaign type, but if you were to click leads, for example, you'll see now you've got the discovery option. So just a note, you have to ensure that you have a conversion pixel created, otherwise it won't allow you to proceed with setting up a discovery campaign. It needs a conversion. So I'm just going to pop in and add in my URL. I might have to click the create a conversion action. Yeah, so if I kind of continue now, it gives me this please set up a conversion tag. All you need to do if you wanted to kind of skip past this at the minute is click on it, and it'll create this, your conversion action has been created, and then you can go and actually add that to your site, etc. later. So you don't need to do it right now, and then you can continue through. So it's got the normal campaign settings options that you need to run through. So in my case, I'm based in the United Kingdom. I'd like to focus on the English language as targeting, and the bidding. You've got options here. So my recommended goal is conversions because I've based it on a lead-based campaign. So yeah, you can actually click this option to set a target cost per action. So I might just put £50 in here. It'll give you a typical at the bottom beforehand. So I don't know if you saw that, but usually if you put it in too low, for example, it'll say a typical CPA is at least £6.30. So it'll tell you kind of the guidelines that you need to be aiming for in order to get, some visibility and some performance out of your campaign running. You can then assign your budget. So, you know, if I want to target CPA of £15, I want to be able to get at least 10 times that amount. So I'm going to put a budget of £150 in just to make sure it's able to get enough visibility. And then you can choose a conversion action that you want to focus on. I'm not going to do this at this time because I haven't set that up. But once you've got your conversions, you can choose whether it's, if you've got multiple conversions that you're tracking. So let's say you're tracking phone calls and you're tracking leads, for example, through a form fill. You might say, well, a form fill is the main conversion action that I want to focus on. Your audience segments is basically who gets to see your ads, in a nutshell. So you can have custom segments, so that's based on people's search activities. This way you add in kind of a keyword or sites, etc. So I'll just put test, and then you can put people who search for any of these terms. So I could put PPC management or Google Ads training. There we go. So anyone who searched for these are going to fall into my new segment called test. I can save that, and you can go ahead and add in and create those. Or you can use people based on remarketing, so anyone who's been to your website before. So you can create a new data list, an audience manager. They have got recommended under these two. This is what's going to work best for discovery. Or you can do it on interests and demographics. So this is where you'll kind of do the standard in-market kind of segments, for example. You can search, so I might search for marketing, see if anything's there, and it'll give us suggestions. So people interested in advertising marketing, right, fair enough, I'll pop that on, and that can be an audience segment. As you're building this, you'll start to see some information on the right hand side about your campaign. So it's given us this warning here about me tracking conversions not being set up, and then it'll also give us some kind of available impression data, estimated performance on the right hand side as well. So you've got, based on your targeting, I'm going to get approximately 1.7 thousand to up to 13,000 clicks on this campaign, for my daily budget. So quite a big reach. It's suggesting that I might get there. You can tailor your audience even further with things like demographics. So it might be that you don't want to include, for me, I might say I don't need the 18-24 category. They don't typically convert. Parental status doesn't make a difference, and I'm happy to leave the unknowns on for anyone who's not actually put the data in. So you can leave that as is, and you can tailor that to whatever you feel is your target demographic. Optimized targeting basically means that Google will try to kind of reach out and get more people. It can work. It's a way of obviously expanding your reach. So you've got the option to opt in or opt out. It gives you this little note saying that ads have seen an average of 20% more conversion by using optimized targeting. Test it, turn it on, see if it works. If it doesn't, try turn it off. It depends on your budget and what you want to do. In this case, I'm going to leave it on for this setup. Next, we'll move into the ad creation. So this is where it's a little bit different because to what you might have been used to when it comes to the likes of your search setup, because it is a lot more visual. So you're just going to go through to the option to create a new ad. So you've got the option of two different ad types. You've got your discovery ad, which is just a standard single image ad, and then you've got a carousel version. So it's a little bit similar, and I guess being a bit cheeky and probably, you know, kind of copying a little bit the way that Facebook works, I guess, in terms of how they showcase their ads, because they've got the carousel version, etc. as well. But just remember that obviously discovery ads are meant to be kind of immersive and interactive. So, you know, they need to be as visually appealing as possible. And remember, if you're running discovery ads and all the other people that are running discovery, you want to get kind of rich assets in there to be engaging. So let's go ahead. We'll set up just a standard discovery ad to start with. Again, Google gives you this ad strength option at the top here, so it isn't complete at the minute because we haven't done anything with it, but once you've got your images, your descriptions and your headlines, it'll start to complete, and it'll give you a preview in this box as always, that you can switch between to see how things are looking. It'll also show you what it looks like on different properties across Google. So if you drop down on this preview option, you can see how your ad will look on YouTube, Gmail or Discover. So if I click YouTube, this is what my ad would look like at the minute. Nothing, because I'm putting information in, but there would be an image, etc. And just remember that when you are uploading your images and your logos, etc., there is obviously asset restrictions that you need to adhere to. So to get those if you just hover over this little question mark here, it'll give you the full information on the recommended sizes, like the file size, etc. So you've got your landscape recommendations, your square, your portrait, and then you've got your logo recommendations. You need to have at least one landscape image running and a square image, and you also need a portrait and a logo. So make sure they're all up there and available. But after that, you can put kind of as many as you want in there and choose the relevant one. So to upload an image, you're just going to go to the images and logos section, and then basically it's got an asset library. So this will be where if you already had a load of images uploaded into Google Ads, you'll be able to just choose. You can scan your website as well, so it can actually pull back images from your website. So here, if I scan mine, it basically pulls back images that I've used for blogs on my logo and things like that. So I can, if I wanted to, I could use this image. It's saying, and you can click to see how it's going to look. So if I was to use this smaller version, I'd probably want to move it across either way, because otherwise you're not going to see what the image is all about. So I'll just leave it like that as an example. And then at the bottom you have the select to ratios to choose it. This would be my logo, so you can choose at the top what it's going to be. So you can click logo and select that, and then if you want to, you can go ahead and upload others. You can add a URL for stock images as well, and then you can see at the very end which ones you've selected so far. So you can continue to add in images and choose whatever you feel is best, and then you can save that. So then we'll start to get a visualization of exactly what our ads are going to look like. Obviously, for the purpose of this, just as a note, this wouldn't be the type of image that I would be using, because I've used this as a blog post. It's not going to bring any relevance for somebody looking for well, I suppose it would make the most of your low-key budget, but what my point is, make sure that you have kind of visually rich content that's relevant to your user. So exactly about your brand, what you want to promote, what's going to encourage them to come through to your website and take the next step, whether that be a sale or just visiting the site or, a lead for you. So in terms of the text-based part of the ad, you can add headlines. It says here you've got an option to add up to 5. So just pop in whatever you want for your headlines that you feel is relevant. And as you start to build this, you'll start to see that, images, descriptions, etc. starts to update. So it's halfway full there. For example, freelance takes success, learn, PPC, Google Ads training, and management. On the plus side, on the discovery ads, you get a little bit more to play with from a headline length perspective. So you've got 40 characters there, and you can start to see what the ad's going to look like, so in different formats. Again, if you want to kind of pause that to see it more slowly, then you can scroll through. So this is what my ad would be looking like at the minute. We've got a visually attractive image, and then you've got learn PPC, which is one of my headlines, and then visit the site. So you can choose what your call to action is. It's put visit site because it's currently set to as automated, but I could change this to get a quote or learn more, for example. So it'll update you. So now it says get quote. So you can update that to whatever you feel is most relevant for your business. If it's an e-commerce business, for example, you might want to put something like shop now. If it's something that's kind of informational based and is available to download, you can have a download option. You might just want someone to contact you, whatever it might be. You can put in the relevant call to action for you. Unfortunately, it is kind of a drop list selection. You can't write your own call to action, but I feel it covers probably most people's scenarios. So just click what you feel is the most relevant to yours. So I'm going to have mine as learn more, and I'll update the ads here. Then, as always, you put in your descriptions. Again, you've got up to 5. This is just so Google can kind of rotate these, mix them with your images, etc., and see what kind of works and appeals to customers the most, and hopefully optimize and get the most out of them. So your description might be learn PPC online with freelance to success. Make sure you spell correctly as well, so keep on top of checking that for that red line in case there's any issues. And now you can see more of a fuller ad. So you've got your image, you've got your call to action, you've got your headline, and you've got your description. and then you can see that the headlines now complete, images, descriptions on the way, sort of thing. And you can continue to add those in. You can also do your business name here. So mine would be freelance to success, and you pop in whatever yours is, and that should then update to here. So now it says freelance to success. So it all starts to kind of come together and look quite engaging. So it's a pretty easy setup. Just make sure you've got, what I would say is try to include 5 different types of headlines. So rather than keeping them quite similar, and I try to think of different USPs about your business or different call to actions, etc., that you want to include in your headlines, and mix and match those. And same with your description, try to put in as much information as possible about your business that's relevant to your users, to give them a reason to actually be engaged with your content. So once you've done that, you can create your ad. Done. You can add another one if you want to, but for the purpose of the training session, we'll just kind of continue on from this. So if you click the next option, you go to the review section. So now this is where you're just going to check everything over to make sure that everything you've set up is correct, and that there's no issues before you actually go live for it. Google also do kind of checking for errors. As I mentioned at the beginning, it's flagging about the conversions because I haven't selected the conversion type to save, so I'll have to fix that. But once that's all done, I can then publish my campaign, and that's all ready to go. So give it a go, guys. See what kind of performance you can get out of it. Run a test, and as always, keep learning.